Yo, what's going on today, guys? You already know what we're here for. It is time to rank the best season slash sets in Pokemon Pocket. So remember, this is my personal opinion. You guys can have your own, and mine is probably going to be very different than a lot of people because I've seen a couple other people already make these. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and let's just start yapping. So I'm gonna try to go in order. So first off, we have Genetic Apex. So Genetic Apex obviously introduced us to the game. The top decks during then were Mewtwo, Pikachu, stuff like Zard, Starmie, Articuno. And from my memory, I believe those were like the top ones. But yeah, you know, it just introduced us to the game. This is the only season I never entered tournaments in, and obviously ranked didn't exist. So I played it very casually. I made content on it, and dude, I love it. I love Genetic Apex. I reminisce about those times. You know, sometimes it's only been like 8 months, like 9 months, low key, but it's just fun. You know, you had like Marowak EX, which was fun. You just had a bunch of cool, fun decks because the only thing to do was to play fun decks, and that's your entering tournament. So I don't think it was anything crazy, so I'm gonna put it in B. And yeah, just average, bro. It was all right. It was cool, nothing crazy, and that's all right. Doesn't have to be, because it just introduced us into Pocket. So next up might be a little bit of a hot take. So Mythical Island is just everything I said about Genetic Apex. The only differences is it gave us the fighting sandbox decks, which is either Primeape or Farfetch, with the introduction of Aerodactyl EX. Then obviously gave us stuff like Celebi Superior, Executor. Also gave us Magikarp / Gyarados with Shurigan. Oh yeah, I gave us Shurigan, bro. Hold up. Okay, Shurigan was kind of annoying, dude. But at the same time, the only deck that really utilized it back in the day was like there was Golem. I guess Golem was a deck, wasn't the most represented. But Gyarados, I think Mythical Island, bro, I think it's way better than Genetic Apex because it was still Genetic Apex at the core. The top 3 decks were still Mewtwo, Pikachu, and then just with the introduction of Gyarados. And then, like I said, we just had the new decks with like Celebi, the fighting stuff, and I guess Golem could also fall into the fighting stuff, but you know, obviously it's not like what I'm talking about for the Aerodactyl decks. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like personally, I just thought it was an upgrade from Genetic Apex. I entered tournaments in this era. I had the legendary Venusaur like 4-run, bro, like top cut 4-run with the top 8s and stuff, and it was just fun, man. It was simply fun. It was just like I said, bro, it was just Genetic Apex, which was fine. It was all right, just more decks, and just, you know, more decks equals more fun sometimes. Because I didn't think any of the decks were like crazy overpowered or like annoying. Like, yeah, some people didn't like Gyarados because like Gyarados, Greninja, Shurigan. I didn't personally mind fighting against it. Like Celebi Superior was definitely probably the most annoying deck. Also wasn't the best deck. It was like a top 4, top 5 deck, so I think that's fine. And yeah, I think this does it for Mythical Island, man. It was just like I said, bro, it was really fun. Next up, we have literal peak, bro. This is almost peak Pokemon Pocket, and it was peak until a different set came out. Space Time Smackdown S tier, bro. So the reason this is not an S plus is 1, there is a set that I think is better than this, and 2, it kind of did fall off at the end when everybody was playing Executor Celebi, although I still thought that deck was fun to play. But until that last week, bro, why does get this notification out of her, bro? What are you doing? Space Time Smackdown, bro. So we had decks like Dark Zone, Darkrai Greninja, we had Dolgar Yanmega, we had Executor Yanmega, we had stuff like that. We also had damn, I'm trying to think. Well, Pikachu died, so did Mewtwo. Those decks just did not exist anymore. We had Darkrai Weavile, which was also a deck, even if it wasn't the best. It was Weavile, right? I'm pretty sure we got that. Yeah, we got that set. It was just fun, man. It was just simply fun. There was a lot of variety. We had like the 20 different Magnezone decks. Like we had the fighting Magnezone stuff. Did we have? I think we had Gallade. Let me double check that, bro. I'm pretty sure Gallade came out in the set, although it wasn't like the best Pokemon. Okay, so we did get Gallade. We also did get Palkia. Palkia was, yeah, it was, you know, we also got Pachirisu. I didn't really like Palkia that much in Space Time, but I started liking it in Triumphant Light just because it was kind of like an anti-meta Arceus thing. But we didn't even just like go look at the tournament decks, man, as well, like Pokemon TCG Pocket. We could switch to Space Time, just like for, remember, yeah, we had like all these decks. Zard still like existed, wasn't that good. Oh yeah, Gyarados was making his way back up at like the end of the meta, bro. I totally forgot about that. Just because it was like pretty decent in the Executor Celebi. We had obviously Rampardos Lucario, which was not as good obviously as the next season. And yeah, we had like also like Skarmory Magnezone as well. I kind of forgot about that. I don't know, man. For me, Space Time Smackdown was just peak Pocket. It was a lot of variety. There's a lot of Darkrai Magnezone at the beginning, but Darkrai Magnezone was able to be beat, especially with using stuff like Yanmega or even like the Greninja variant. And then like, yeah, the last week, Executor Celebi, everyone just realized, okay, it's a really good deck and it's pretty easy to play. And everyone just started using that. So I think because of that last week, I'm going to put it in S instead of S+. But if it wasn't for that, it would probably be S+. It was a really fun season. I also performed very well. I mean, I got my first tournament win. I got a bunch of top 8s, top cuts of like stuff like Darkrai, Greninja, and then Yanmega Dialga. So for me, very good season, and I do miss it. Next, we have Triumphant Light, which is going to give us Arceus. So it's going to be dominated by Arceus, Dialga, and then the only deck that can really counter it more efficiently is going to be like Lucario, Rampardos, Marshadow. And then besides that, we had Articuno. So for people who have been watching me since Triumphant Light, you know that I was taken out back, shot multiple times by 18 card Articuno and Missy. The very first week, I lost like 5 tournament runs because I just kept losing to Articuno, misting me. That's not even lying. That's not exaggeration. I have it in the video proofs from back then. Literally my Glaceon win. I showed like I think like 3 or 4 clips of just Articuno. But yeah, speaking of Triumphant, I did want to set my second tournament with Glaceon, Palkia. It was a very fun anti-meta deck. And I think if you asked me before these other new sets, I think I would have put Triumphant as the worst season. I'm going to put a C tier, bro. I don't think it was that bad. It also gave me Leafeon Celebi, which is like one of my favorite decks of all time. I think it was all right. Do I think, I'm going to be honest, bro, 100% honest. I'd rather face against, I swear to God, I would rather face against Dialga or Arceus than some of these new decks, man. It's not that bad looking back. It was not that bad looking back. It's one of those like in the moment, this is like, oh, this meta sucks. This meta is dominated by Arceus, but looking back, it wasn't that bad. Like, it was definitely dominated. Don't get me wrong. Arceus was broken. Arceus was broken. I would rather face against this though. I would rather do it because at least the deck took some skill. Next up though, we have Shining Revelry, bro, which introduced us to rank, gave us Giratina, which is famous for Darkrai Giratina, the deck that just never dies. And besides that, we had stuff like Gyarados. We had Genetic Apex Charizard. We also had like Meowscarada Magnezone, which was very inconsistent, but it could be very good if you did God Roll, which was a pretty fun deck, but like it was 2 stage 2s, or yeah, 2 stage 2s before Rare Candy, and it was just extremely bricky, bro, especially with like red double, because double hand disruption was very popular at the end of the season, so it was like almost impossible to play that deck. We also had like Beedrill Masquerada, which was cool until Masters. I guess we could also just look real quick. We already have it open. We can just switch into Shining Revelry, bro. Yeah, we had Gyarados, like I said. We did have delayed Hitmonlee, which was pretty good until all the Darkrai Giratina players started understanding how to play against the deck. So that's a yikes. We had Rampardos Lucario still. I forgot that deck existed, bro. That deck like came back up like the last 2 weeks, bro, and I hate that deck, bro, because my opponents always just have Rampardos and the Marshadow like turn 1. This was cap. This did not exist. We did have Arceus Carnivine, like Arceus Executor and stuff like that. Like Masquerada Arceus as well, which was kind of popping up like in Ultra Ball, not really Master Ball. You didn't really see too much. Did give us Wugtrio though. Hold up, the season did give us Wugtrio. Gave us Wugtrio. It gave us Red. It gave us Iono. So Iono was pretty cool. Red was pretty cool for the game, and it did give us Wugtrio. It did give us Wugtrio. So does that influence? Does that influence my placement by like 1 spot? I think it might. Wugtrio was very fun to play. I won that invitational of Wugtrio like on the very first day or second day. I can't remember, but I think it was actually the first day. I'm pretty sure it was of the set. And I don't know, man. Like I tried for top 1,000. I got 40 points away, and then I went on a terrible breaking streak of Gyarados because I should just locked in Darkrai Giratina. But I just wanted to play Gyarados, bro, because I was sick of the mirror matches. I wasn't really bad in them. It was just kind of getting boring. So I kind of just wanted to try to like free win my way of Gyarados, and I ended top 5,000 at least. I was like top 3,000, but I grinded a lot this season. I played the season a lot, and I don't know, man. For me personally, it wasn't that fun, and that's not because Darkrai Giratina. Gyarados and Charizard were terrorist decks, bro. They were not fun to play against because they kind of just are decks that like they just win. Like you're not really playing your opponent. You're really just kind of doing your own thing. And if they get their stuff set up, there's a high chance they could just win if they have everything they need. Obviously, sometimes they did draw the red, which lets you win. Sometimes like they didn't have like Sabrina to get around the Rocky Helmet, so you could still win with Darkrai Giratina. But Charizard was more the terrorist. Like Charizard was so hard to beat, bro. Just because it does guarantee one shot you no matter what, bro. And if they get enough energy, bro, and you just can't knock it out, you're cooked. You're simply cooked. There's no limit that hit, obviously, and I'm gonna put it in D. I'm gonna put it in C. I'm gonna put it in C actually. I think it's all right. Luxurio might be making it C and not D. If honestly, if I had a tier, I probably would put a C minus. I'm ranking these left to right, so I do think Triumphant was overall better. And Shining Revelry, bro, I do not miss you. I think your bottom two were season. I'm also just now seeing that Dimensional Crisis is not on this tier list, so that is something I'm going to have to add. Okay, we have extra Dimensional Crisis now. Obviously, you know, it's after Celestial Guardians, bro. Peak of Pocket, so much variety. It gave us the Decidueye, it gave us stuff. Dude, it was just peak. Like, let me just pull up the decks, man. It was just peak. This was the actual quote unquote diversity meta. Every meta after this, people say it's diverse. It's not diverse, bro. Y'all lying. Y'all need to be legit. Dude, but we had Dark Giratina. We also Giratina Greninja was like a deck that we kind of saw, bro, but it was not really relevant. Like, some people did play it, but it was not like a lot. It was a very small percentage. I feel like people were playing it, at least in ranked. Maybe tournaments was a little bit different. I didn't compete a lot in this tournament, like in this meta, because I was so focused on ranked, and so was a lot of people. Masquerade Decidueye, bro. What am I talking about, bro? I did compete. It was just not relevant, bro. What am I talking about? We had the biggest tournament also during this season, which, you know, I got 27th, bro. You know, pretty good. Actually, I think it was 26 maybe, but I just love Masquerade Decidueye, bro. Like, we had Garchomp also. We had Arceus, Crobat, which was becoming a thing, like the Thanos version. Solgaleo Skarmory. We had the Greninja Oricorios. We had like Oricorio Magnezone, Greninja Giratina, which was the same thing as the Darkrai one. Lucario Rampardos was still a little bit there. Charizard Tornado. We had Incineroar Tornado. We had like the Lycanroc Rampardos, bro. Beedrill decks. It was fun, man. It was just fun. I don't know, man. Like, I just love Masquerade Decidueye. It might be my favorite deck or second favorite deck of all time. We just had so much. We had Tapu Lele, bro. We had all the decks I mentioned already. It just felt like it was very diverse. I also enjoyed playing ranked after the first season. It actually felt fun to play ranked, even though I didn't really try this season. I was just playing for fun, bro, because I had a lot of school stuff going on, and I don't know, man. I really just like Masquerade. Even with double hand disruption, bro, I was getting red card Mars almost every single turn one with Masquerade Decidueye. It was still fun. So in my personal opinion, I think Celestial Guardians is peak Pokemon Pocket. Some people say it's a rare candy meta. Yeah, I definitely agree. Some games you do just lose if your opponent goes second, get a rare candy. There's also a lot of times you opponent gets that and you still win just because, like, for example, Solgaleo going second. There's many times I still beat Solgaleo going second with rare candy if I went first with Masquerade Decidueye, because I knew I had to basically leaf cape the active so they can't go in the Skarmory and knock me out of like something like a Geo. I'd use an Erica in case they did want to go into a Skarmory, but I would set up the back Masquerade, and then once the back Masquerade is set up, they usually take the KO on the current Sprigatito. Then I could go into the Decidueye following that, and it was just extremely fun, man. I don't know. I miss it. I think this was peak Pocket. I'm not even gonna waste my time, bro. Extra Dimensional Crisis, bro. That's why it's not on the tier list, bro. It wasn't on the tier list because it's garbage. Who wants to play in this meta? This is literally bottom of Pokemon Pocket for me. So we had new decks. Main ones were Guzzlord and Buzzwole. Guzzlord, very fun to play, especially the Dog and Dell version for me. Buzzwole, oh my god, bro. If I have to face another goddamn not only Buzzwole, bro, but it gave us Savali type no Gladion combo. Let's play rank, guys. Buzzwole, Savali, Buzzwole, Savali. Like, bro, that's the whole season. That is literally the whole season. Buzzwole 24/7. Buzzwole dominated like every tournament, and if it wasn't Buzzwole, bro, I felt like it was a Savali deck winning. It's like everybody, bro, it drove me crazy. Everybody was saying this meta is diverse. It's not diverse. It's just 85 Savali decks. That's all. That's not diverse. That's not diversity. It's just Savali, which whatever big attacker you want. Like, there's Giratina Savali, Rampardo Savali, Oricorio Savali. I'm sick of the Savali decks, bro. Go away. Not only that, but Savali is the reason Masquerade was taken outside. Shout out back. Now I can't play Decidueye anymore, bro. I'm pissed. I hate the season, bro. I absolutely hate the season. Only season I didn't, besides United Apex, I didn't enter a single tournament. I was very locked in. I did get top 1,000 playing Noggindale Guzzlord 95% of the time in ranked. I locked in, got that, played through the pain, play through the goddamn Buzzwole players, bro, that think they're good because they have a deck that literally has everything. You have a Bent Sniper, energy regeneration, a goddamn Farfetch, bro, that you could use Erica on, a goddamn Giant Cape +10. But I love grass decks. Buzzwole is not a grass deck. It is a fake grass deck that is using the grass support cards for evil. That is what Buzzwole is playing. It's a stupid mosquito. I hate it. I'm so glad that it's not as meta relevant, bro, as it was. Garbage. Absolutely the garbage out of my personal opinion, bro. And I could go on for 20 more minutes of why I hate this. I hated that season. And let's go on the Eevee Grove though. Eevee Grove fixed a lot of problems with Extra Dimensional Crisis. One of the main problems of that set was both Savali being very dominant as well as Buzzwole. So what did they do? They actually gave us a good fire card that beats grass types. They gave us Flareon EX. Flareon EX single-handedly brought down Buzzwole. I'm going to put Eevee Grove, bro. I'm going to put it above Genetic Apex. I think it's all right. I think the meta is a little bit boring with Greninja, Sylveon, because they just access the whole deck right away. They draw 2, they draw 4, sometimes they even draw 6 in one turn, and then they hit you with that fucking red card. And then all of a sudden, all right, they have 2 Greninjas set up, and they have a Sylveon, they have a Giratina charging energy, and oh no, guys, I can't draw because my red card just bricked me. The only downside of that deck is literally dual energy, bro. Also, Sylveon Charizard is the most brainless deck we've ever had at Pokemon Pocket. It is very easy, especially with the win streaks. I will admit, the win streaks are very fun and Master Ball. They definitely make it more enjoyable to play. Also, I think it does make it actually harder to hit that top 1K a little bit. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's not hard at the top 1K. You just have to put more time into it, actually. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I haven't been grinding super hard this season. I've just been dealing with stuff. I mean, for people who've been like watching, bro, I've been just dealing with life. And so I've been grinding, but like when I have grinded ranked, it's not bad. It's like, yeah, like, you know, Sylveon Ninja is very boring to play against. Same with Zard. That's why I'm an Oricorio main now, which is the first time I've ever played main Oricorio since its release. So that's something. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like this no real meta development, bro. Since like we had like the only meta development we had was Oricorio being played more in like Garchomp, Sylveon, Rampardos. Besides that, like we had that Snorlax EX deck that did cool. It's not that good. I'm gonna be honest, it was just a lucky run. Love to see that deck doing good. Just someone doing cool, something cool with Snorlax EX. But I'm gonna be honest, the deck is not good. I'm not gonna gaslight you guys saying that deck's like a new meta development, crazy top tier deck that's suddenly gonna be seen everywhere. No, you load up ranked and you face 25 Charizards, you face like 20 Sylveon Greninjas, and then you face the Oricorio decks, whether that be a Savali or a pure Oricorio deck with actual lightning types. Who knows? But like I said, boring doesn't necessarily equal bad. I think it's all right. I don't think it's anything crazy. Is it the best meta? No, I think it's like, I think probably like the 4th best season. I won't lie. I think it's fun. I like the introduction of Flareon EX a lot. I really like that card. I think Sylveon is cool when it's not being paired with Charizard or Greninja. And what else is there? You know, made Leafeon meta relevant again, which was, you know, one of my favorite cards from one of my favorite decks in Triumphant Light. I really love Leafeon and Celebi. Support card wise, I mean, I don't think it gave us anything. It gave us a Howl for Incineroar, which is cool, you know, for Incineroar, make Incineroar like actually kind of meta relevant for a little bit. Gave us Penny, and I think that's it, bro. I think it also gave us like Looker, if that's the same set, or was that the last set? I don't know, but it didn't really give us any new support cards. Gave us Leftovers, which is like only good for Solgaleo. But yeah, just all right, man. Just nothing crazy about it, bro. I'm not gonna act like, oh, bro, Eevee drove the best season. I like it. I think it's solid. Yeah, anyways, bro, I think that does it for the list. Like, these are like ordered left to right. Well, I mean, the only one really ordered, bro, like Eevee Grove and Triumphant Light, which whatever. I'm really hoping the next set is Johto, and I'm really hoping they give us some good water types, only to, you know, balance out that Charizard guy. Even though we already have Oricorio, still be cool to actually see water types be meta relevant, because they have not been, bro, since like probably like Space Time Smackdown was the last time. I guess you could technically Shining Reverie of Gyarados, but that was more of a Gyarados. But I guess, you know, you guys know what I mean. Oh, but the next set is Gen 2. I like Gen 2 Pokemon. Gen 2 is like my second favorite game of all time. I wouldn't mind Gen 5, would not mind Gen 5, but we take those anyways. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know which seasons are your favorite. Like, let me know your top 3. Peace out, have a lovely day, and please don't kill me in the comments.